Welcome back, everybody, to another Two Tamers Talk. Jeff, BT12 is here.
We're here. We had our first locals of BT12.
We landed. We got through it.
We did it. We made it. We made it.
We had no idea what we were going to see tonight. This is the first time. Yeah. I love the first tournament of a new format, right? Because you never know who chose what they pulled out of their pre-release, what angle they were going to take, what loyal Digimon tribal thing were they waiting for. So it's like you literally just show up and you're just like,
yeah,
boom, let's see what everyone's playing in this format. Yeah. What do you think?
I definitely thought I was going to see more hunters.
Okay.
I know that is a very strong deck out of the set. I was optimistic that I saw 2 Raid Wargraves today. I definitely want to see more of those. Always want to see more Wargraves. Didn't get to see any Black Wargrave though. Why are people not playing Black Wargrave to delete the Tamers from the hunters? I don't know.
That is a tricky one, right? Yeah, no, I think that we saw, it was such an even split tonight. I think that we just saw a lot of just variation all the way around. I mean, what I was happy to see is that we got to see, we did get to see the hunters, right? We did get to see that. Mm-hmm. That kind of popped off the map with some of our more meta players and some of the players that obviously, like, check out the I can't talk today. Check out the finals match because that is that's coming to the channel soon.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of Beelzemon players. The X antibody of Beelzemon is insane. And it's crazy how strong and popular that deck is, and I don't think it's going anyway.
I was really surprised to see how many we saw because we've had those cards for a while. I mean, granted, we didn't have the X, right? We didn't have the finishing.
Dude, that takes it over the top, though. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we saw a couple players tonight that I was not expecting to play Beelzemon for sure. So it was a lot of fun. What did you play?
Okay, guys. I'm sorry in advance. I played Avenge Kid again.
You didn't.
To be fair, I was gonna play Hunters.
Yeah.
I was going to play Hunters. We had a good friend of ours show up. He forgot his decks. And he asked if anyone had an extra deck. And I told him what I had, and he grabbed my Hunters. So, I mean, I'm really glad he did that, though, because I'm really fine-tuning this deck for you guys. Because we got the set. We played it. I had a blast with the 6-pack. That really opened my eyes how strong the deck can be. Went back to your place over the week, and we've been trying different versions of Hunters.
Yeah.
Started off as one thing, ended up completely. I mean, I feel like my 6th version of the deck list. It's been a long time since I've done 6 iterations.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, we went through a lot of changes. We play tested a whole bunch. I mean, I shot a whole bunch of decks across that bow too.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I was expecting you to play that tonight.
I was going to.
At least it still got played tonight. It's not like it sat vacant.
Yeah, and it was really nice because I trust this person's opinion. And for me, being like, hey, man, play this tonight, but I want you to tell me if I need to change ratios, what you think of my tamer split, et cetera, et cetera. So got some good insight on that. So that's always important.
Yeah. How'd you place?
Not nearly as good as you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you went 2-2, right?
2-2. Yeah. But it's crazy, our scene. So we had 23 tonight.
22. There was no bye. Yeah, 22.
Yeah. So I think I got 10th or 11th.
It's not bad. It's middle of the road.
I was in the half, right? Top half. Let's say that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not saying I would have done any better with Hunters. Well, maybe I am saying that because I do think I would have done pretty good with that deck. But you did pretty good tonight.
I did. I answered the call, folks.
You answered the call.
I took Jeff up on his lucrative offer 2
only
weeks
one
ago.
To take me up on it, and I feel like it's my fault because I didn't mention it again last week's episode, I got carried away. So maybe.
But that's why the fans have to be loyal. They got to watch because we have reoccurring things.
Are you questioning my fans? Of course, they're very loyal.
Yeah. No, it was a really fun night. I answered your challenge.
You did.
And I feel like it was a challenge directed at me.
I really didn't intend it for you, though.
I know.
Like, you were the last person who I thought you were going to take the call to arms, you know?
But I played Jesmon. I updated Jesmon. I pulled out all of my old BT6 cards because I haven't played the deck in, that's got to be close to 10 formats, right? I mean, we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 formats.
Yeah.
Not even counting starter decks. Yeah, I haven't played it since BT6, and I loved that
Yeah.
deck in BT6. We had a good friend of the channel, Tim. Like that was kind of his baby that he took over.
There's
But
a lot of people
he's
that
so
played
caught
that.
up in Beelzemon nonsense
You
right
played
now.
Wargrey Ray tonight though,
And Wargrey, yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's a big Wargrey
Yeah,
fan.
he likes those tribals.
So for those of you who maybe did not watch 2 episodes ago, first of all, go back and rewatch all of our episodes. But let's do a recap of what the challenge was, why we did it. So the idea is we were talking about mulligans.
Mm-hmm.
The idea was, hey, mulligans are now a thing. And in my opinion, the first deck that popped in my mind as benefiting the most from mulligans was the Jesmon decks, because the ratios are so tricky. So I put out a challenge. I said, answer the call to arms. Anybody who plays Jesmon, I'll pay for your entry, right? Because I wanted to see the results of what a Jesmon deck can do, full powered with good experienced players with the full mulligan backing them up. And I'm a little disappointed only one person answered me, but it did save me a little bit of money. So that's pretty good. But what do you think? So that was the initial challenge, right?
It was.
Did mulligans make the deck stronger? How much did it help?
Absolutely. So I placed third out of 22 people tonight. I only lost to the guy that got first.
That's
tonight.
killer, man.
And he has obviously gotten first multiple times. Jesmon, it goes burr, as a lot of people as a lot of people in our locals say. It goes fast. It goes multiple security checks. People aren't yet in the mindset yet for the Quartzmon matchup, so I feel like people aren't playing a lot of kill spells yet again. That's why Quartzmon kind of ran rampant tonight. I think people are going to start teching more kill spells, more return to deck, return to hand stuff for that Quartzmon matchup later in the format, but I wanted to come full speed ahead with Jesmon.
Jesmon.
You know, because everyone was expecting me to play Ulforce, I think.
I think everyone was expecting that too. Yeah.
So
totally
I wanted to come full
them.
speed ahead with the Jesmon deck, and it did a lot. I mean, Jesmon GX swings for like 5 checks, and people are not ready, especially against Hunters. There's nothing in that deck that's going to stop 5 checks for 20K.
Like, nothing.
No, nothing. So it was really strong, and I had a lot of fun with it, and it brought back a lot of the old feels because I was talking to you about it, and just moving into kind of just how I've evolved as a Digimon player and just kind of what I like now compared to what I liked 6-7 months ago. Like I still like Machine. It's still one of my favorite decks to play, but spoilers, I have a Digivolving version of it ready for the channel because I with Ulforce playing it and being successful with it and having fun with it, I'm really enjoying these, build a stack decks and being strong with it and being strategic about when you come out of raising and do the thing that your deck does. It's a whole different ballgame for me. I know that you've made a lot of comments like, I've never seen you so excited about a new set, and this set is so much fun for me because I'm able to just go ham on all these sets, and you challenge me with this Jesmon thing, and it's not even a set that's super relevant. This. The only new cards I got was the security Huckmons,
which we should have got 2 sets ago or a set ago or whatever.
But
who knows?
They were really helpful tonight. They delete a body, they draw a card, and they go to your hand. So you got a rookie.
Killer.
It's a really good. It's just a really strong, I think, surprise in this meta. If you show up with a full powered Jesmon deck, and we will have the profile for you guys within a week or two. I have it ready. It was a lot of fun tonight. Got third.
That's killer. And you did really well.
It was close.
Like you said,
I was almost in the finals video. But it was I think it's a good set for this format. Not even talking about what's going to happen to BT13. If you're a Jesmon fan and you haven't looked at what's coming in BT13, and I'm not talking about just the Jesmon. Look at the support for it. You have a new Huckmon, a new Bow Huckmon, and you finally have a Savior Huckmon that for now you can play 4 of.
Yeah.
So you're not just stuck with 5 Savior Huckmons in your deck. But it is going to be super strong. It's already pretty competitive, and I recommend it. Anybody, check out our video, try the deck out, and get your Jesmon GX alt arts now because that card is going to be so good in BT13. It's going to go.
I think Banner did a really good job of what the Jesmon deck does.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They made it like lore with all the sisters, kind of teaching and babysitting Jesmon or Huckmon and becoming Jesmon, a Royal Knight. And they did a really good job of it's a stack deck, like you were saying. Like now we're going back into this whole format because I feel like once BT10 hit, it was just like, stack decks are dead. You know, like obviously that wasn't the case. Black or Gray was very, very strong in that meta, won quite a few events, right? But Cross did so much work.
Yeah.
So having options, having alternatives to play where, you know, because that was like the whole game mechanics of Digimon is what I like.
Yeah.
Right. The memory system's awesome. Being able to evolve, you know, Digivolve, have that little raising area, all of that stuff is just such cool things about the game for sure. I definitely think whatever happens in the future with Bandai with their sets, definitely need to be able to still be able to Digivolve like that. That's very, very important.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you like Jesmon. I'm glad you do. And you know what? I will take back a lot of the negative things I said. I think seeing the way you've been playing it, the way you've been building it, because I know you've been talking to me about a lot of the particular cards. I'm almost feeling like I need to play it. Like I'm getting the itch, right? Because it's my style, man.
It's
it goes
fun,
wide.
man. Yeah.
It's red. It's got tons of checks, big bodies. Like there's no reason why I don't play it. I'm just like after thinking of what the deck does, and not just because you won with it, right? But just how wide it goes, security attack, potential removal, all of the crazy effects. I just really need to just try the deck out for sure. And just
Well, there was, that whole Death X thing, right? So it's just like,
yes, that is true.
that was a huge part of why people stopped playing Jess, because everyone was just like, well, I'll just create an environment where they just Death X me.
Yep.
I got Death X twice tonight and still did pretty well. I mean, there are ways to get rid of it. I mean, there are ways with the Jess X. I mean, you can Digivolve, the new Savior lets you, on that turn, that Digimon can swing at unsuspended Digimon, and then there's the Jess X that lets you do it too. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do in that deck. I was really sad that I couldn't fit, spoilers if you're going to watch the video later, I couldn't fit Judgments in, which is one of my favorite cards for Royal Knights, because I've built every color Royal Knights. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I've built a yellow, a blue. Before we started the channel, I've literally tried every way to build that. And I'm so excited for BT13 if you guys aren't.
BT13 is going to be insane.
It's going to be nuts. I mean, I bought Oryukins because I want to build Alpha Mon.
You're ready.
I'm ready to build every Royal Knight separate and then bring them all together to build.
Yeah,
to
try
build
out different things
deck.
that you figure out for sure. No, I agree.
Because they're all on play and when Digivolving.
I got to ask, did you struggle with your ratios of the sisters? Did you struggle to figure out how many Blancs I should play, how many CLs, how many of each CL I should play? That to me seems like a little bit of a daunting task.
It's
knowing where to start with.
It's not, because you run 2, 2, 2, and 2 essentially. There's the one of in my deck of the Blanc Awakened.
Interesting.
The one that recovers. That's a one of because it's kind of techy, and it's something you kind of do as a last ditch effort to kind of save a turn.
Gotcha.
But you recycle them so much. I mean, noting that the starter deck Jesmon, which is kind of the best Jesmon because it blitzes, it doesn't require you to keep it your turn to play a Sistermon. So that's really good. But you don't want to play into the. I don't even know how to say it. Like it's really hard. You just want to. There's no consistency to the sisters, but there is, right? Like, because you're not going to be able to actively pick and choose other than your searchers. You're going to get to search with the BT7 Huckmon. You're going to get to search with the BT6 Huckmon, but it's just luck of the draw, right? So it's more of managing. You want to manage your stack more than you manage your sisters.
No, I agree with that. I was just curious if there was a benefit, me to play 4 of one sister and 3 of another or whatever.
I haven't found any situation where you play more than 2 of any of them.
I see.
Honestly, the best one in the entire, if I were to go to 3 of any of them, most people would be like, oh, the blocker, right?
Yeah, that's the one I would think of.
No, the most powerful one in the set is the BT10 one, the rare one, the one that lets you on play Digivolve into another Royal Knight.
That makes sense too, because
that one is insane.
Yeah,
that's the one that lets you go from your Jesmon into your Jesmon X for free. Get another Sistermon out. There was a time tonight where I swung, blitzed, Digimon, played that one, went into a Jesmon X for free, which let me play another one, which let me go into a GX, which let me tuck another a Jesmon X from trash, which played another one. Yeah, it's just this boom, 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 boom. And, like Hunters players are just like, I don't have an answer for that other than Quartzmon, but then you just swing into it, or do whatever. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Yeah, it was fun tonight. I swung over one Quartzmon with a stack from my raising area, and then I
mean, your local results showed it. Like,
it was fun.
3 out of 22 with a very tough scene that we have.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I mean, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What decks you think benefits from Mulligan? How much you like Jess? If you dislike Jess, if you're about to start playing it, because I'm kind of getting turned, into a Jesmon fan at this point. Here, playtesting against you, seeing it in action and all that stuff. And also, what kind of decks do you think with the Mulligan stand a better chance?
Yeah.
Definitely want to hear those in the comments. So let us know.
I will say that I did Mulligan. I forgot to mention that. I did Mulligan about 50% of the time. There was, I think one out of every probably 2 games that I played, I did Mulligan, because it was literally just like a hand and you're like 3 Sistermons, a Jesmon, and a GX or something like that. So if I didn't have a level 3 or the Searcher Huckmon or a memory boost to get into something else, especially considering you get to see if you go first or second before you decide to Mulligan. So
yeah,
that makes a huge difference. Huge difference.
I think at this point it's safe to say that there's not a bad thing about the Mulligan. I think the Mulligan is good for the game. I do think it's going to help a lot of decks. I did want to see more Dorbic. So maybe that'll be my next challenge.
You thought we were going to see Dorbic?
No, I didn't think we were going to see more Dorbic, but I haven't seen Dorbic at our locals.
It's been a minute, yeah.
With the new Mulligan. So the guy who borrowed my deck is our resident Dorbic player.
That is true.
Right. And so he clearly didn't have it if he didn't have any of his decks on him. But I wanted to see more Dorbic because with the Mulligan. So I just like learning these things about the game, things that make decks stronger or whatever with having the Mulligans, because I definitely feel like I've been benefiting from it.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it does take your game to the next level, having to learn what hands you want for your opening hand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of just, yes, it's good to know how to make the best out of whatever situation you got. Not just in Digimon, in life, guys. I'm a life coach now. But it's also good to know when you're Mulligan, what hand are you looking for?
Yeah.
Like, what 1-2 cards do you keep no matter what the other half of the hand is? Right? So.
Yeah, it's tricky because it also kind of takes away the poker play, I think, where if they don't Mulligan, then like whoever says I'm not going to Mulligan first kind of loses, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, cool. So they're not Mulliganing. So is that a word? I always have trouble with that. How do you say that?
I don't know. I stumble over it and hope no one thinks I'm stupid.
So if your opponent doesn't Mulligan, is what I'm saying, does it create more pressure for you to be like, oh, is this a good hand? Should I Mulligan?
I don't know if I agree with that, because I have been learning with these new Mulligans and with all the practice of the Mulligans that a lot of times you need to keep a hand that is playable.
Yeah.
Right? I know we talked about this last episode, and I know that was like some of the lessons when the Mulligan first came out, where I'd try to Mulligan, I had a playable hand, and I would get a worse hand. Right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, I should not have Mulligan. So learning when to Mulligan and when not to Mulligan are equally important. Yes, I will definitely say that. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad move if you keep a hand. I don't think your opponent just goes, well, I lose because he didn't Mulligan his hand, like.
Yeah, and I've talked to multiple people about that just recently, because we've only had it for probably a month of locals or something like that. Since April 1st. Yeah, so a month. We're like a month in. So it's been interesting to see people's personality choices and how aggressive they are with the Mulligans. Like if they don't pull, some people are like, if I don't pull exactly the cards I want, I'm going to Mulligan. And then other people are like, well, as long as I have a level 3, there's like different ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like some people are like, if I don't have every piece I want, then I'm going to try again. And there's some people that are just like, if I have a level 3, then I'm just going to make this work somehow. You know?
I think people that are looking for a very specific combo or a specific set of cards in their hand are setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to realize it soon enough that it is a card game based off chance. You only get 5 of 50 cards. You get 10% of your deck in that opening hand. And if your combo relies on 4 very specific cards, and, all of you mathematicians in there, tell me the fractional equation for this probability. I'm sure we could figure it out, but don't do that. Just don't do that.
The funny thing is I think the people that have been playing since day one, like really early on, that have been abused by bricks for 2 years now, are more reluctant to mulligan. We're more, if we have something halfway playable, we're like, oh yeah, we're not going to risk not having.
I know I struggle with this because I'm having to change all of my philosophies.
Yeah.
Because now my deck building now I look at your decks with 11 and 12 level 3s, and I just think about all the possibilities, all the room you have for activities in that deck. And I'm sitting here with my decks with 14 and 15 level 3s, like, it's time to change.
But that's great. It's great for the channel because we can update all those decks and you can add more to the top end. I like it because it allows, like you said, more room. So it allows more space for people to add in the fun cards or the
a little bit more interesting.
The main protagonist for their deck. You know, it's like if you're not stuck with just 4 level 6s or
like
5 level 6s. Like throw in one more. Like make it more consistent. Make the deck that you enjoy.
Yes, absolutely.
The way that the deck works, like there's more chances for you to do what your deck does, which is great.
So like now I still don't like ADP Tecton decks, right? Like I'm still not the craziest fan of when people play ADP because I feel like, yes, I know it's a good card. I get it.
He's talking about a delicate plan.
A delicate plan. Yeah. A delicate plan. For those of you who don't know, it makes it so when you swing, it's a red option. You don't check security options.
And it costs 1.
Yeah, and you know what? It might make a comeback with this set because people are probably going to play more removal to deal with Quartzmon, so you might see more removal because the removal kind of went away with Black or Gray because they had ways to prevent it. But I am a little bit, little bit more of a fan of playing ADP in decks because you do have more room now. You know, because my whole mindset was focus on building your deck consistently, right? Who cares if you don't have the most explosive combo top end that you have? Obviously that's very fun in a card game, but if you're trying to win and be consistent, you want your deck to do the same thing just about every time you play it. I was like, focus on having the right number of level 3s. That way you could be consistent. But I do think that these mulligans do open a lot more opportunities for tech cards, for fun things, for one-ofs, for just interesting plays. I do think it's healthy for the game at this point.
Yeah. It took them a long time to figure it out. I know there was someone, one of our good friends in our Discord that was talking about because One Piece got like a multiplayer rule or something. They got ways to play multiplayer. And they're like, when is that coming to Digimon? I'm like, bro, we just got basic mulligans. Like, we're 2 years in and they just gave us mulligans. That's light years from now.
Yeah. The whole One Piece multiplayer thing, I don't know what they're doing with that. Like, they're talking about having an alternative format at like the regionals and other equivalent events. Like, I wouldn't want to go to a Digimon event, and have a 2-player versus 2v2 setup. Like,
why not, dude? We could build some
cool
stuff.
Obviously we could partner really well, and I definitely think that it creates interesting metas. Like if you build something that covers half of the meta and I build something that covers half the meta and we work together, or like your strengths is whatever, like good teamwork make the dream work.
I just don't think we're gonna see it anytime.
It's not gonna happen. Like I know why people want to play multiplayer games. Like Commander and Magic is very fun. That people like those 4-player types of card games, but honestly, guys, like card games were kind of meant to be 1v1.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry to be that guy that is just negative about it, and
that's how tournaments work.
It's kind of how it is. And I've yet to try the 2v2 One Piece, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems kind of interesting, and I think that it's possible to do it, but
well, if we're talking about modified rules, let's jump into
nice segue.
Isn't that a good
It's like you're a professional or something.
I know what I'm doing. We're going to jump into what we want to talk about. This is just a quick talk because there's not a whole lot that changed, but we're going to talk about this new Ultimate Cup rulings that we have. Are the June through August Ultimate Cups that are happening here, Latin America, Oceania, Europe. They're sticking with the single color mulligan.
Let us know
format.
what you guys think of the comments. Like if you guys are planning on playing in these Ultimate Cups, if you think
you get in? Were you lucky enough to get a ticket? They sell
out.
Oh geez,
like everything has been selling out for like any card games, and it's like, man, I haven't been able to get into anything.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think is going to dominate in this.
Yeah.
Because it's an open format, and just judging from what we saw tonight in locals, I think it's really up in the air. In the last format, it was just so like heavy black or gray.
Yeah.
Grandest to counter it. There was just like.
But did anything change with this set? Like what we got basically you could think of like 3 major decks out of this set. Obviously, there's more. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's more.
Yeah.
Right? You got Hunter stuff. Can't be played in this format. Right? Too many different colors.
Single.
Too many colors, right?
Yeah.
We got Beelzemon X antibody support.
Yes,
right?
But then they nerfed. So that's the biggest. That's the only change. So we'll just say it right now. So you can look at the graphic below, but the only change is that I see is that they went ahead and threw in that EX2 Impmon to the restricted list. So there's one of.
So now Beelzemon is still playable.
Absolutely.
There's enough Impmons out there where the deck is still strong. Beelzemon X antibody completely destroyed me tonight. The fact that I was able to trash 3 cards on my security. I got my opponent down to 0 security.
Yep.
I had 3. Trash the Rival's Barrage that would have kept me in another turn to win the next turn. But so I do think Beelzemon will have a chance to dominate even without that Hitmon.
Yeah.
But the third deck that I can think of out of this format that could be applicable or just is built in general is like Raid Wargrey. Right? So if anything, that benefits...
Do they play black or do they play red?
They can play both. Because
they
they're
can't play
dual color.
both. They have to
they're
pick...
dual colored.
Oh, you're talking... I know, but I'm talking about like base.
The red base all the way because you get the security attack +1 Greymon.
Gotcha, okay.
Actually, I might take that
you
back.
don't
I
get
might
the
take
tie.
that back because you don't get the tie. Because you don't get the tie and you don't get the Yuya, which obviously
That was your
Yuya.
best card in pre-release, bro.
The tie did do me a lot of work in pre-release for sure. That's such a tough call. So I mean, I feel like the Raid Wargrey is going to probably divide some of the players that were going to play Black Wargrey to maybe try to build that Raid style Wargrey. Definitely think it's going to do a lot of work, but I mean, I feel like it's so close to how the last format was that the deck lists almost aren't going to change for Ultimate Cup.
Yeah.
Right? Why would you? What did you get out of this format that's single color that all of a sudden you're going to play to win an Ultimate Cup?
They didn't limit Quartzmon. I mean, you could play Bloom, but you
Bloom
are limited.
You're right.
You're limited on Hydra. You only have 1 Hydra, so that is kind of tricky. But they can play Quartzmon.
I don't think
without limitations.
I think you can play I think you can still play Bloom Lord without Hydra. Like obviously Hydra's very strong. Don't get me wrong, but I think having Bloom Lord do its thing it could be very good.
You're on 4 Bloom, 1 Hydra, 1
Nidhogg.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Like or I mean you could run there's other plants and vegetations too that you could run.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
definitely.
There's tons of choices for green to run. Bancho Stingmon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's good, but like it
was interesting to me to see that they just went ahead and they're just like, because we haven't seen a bunch of regionals where Beelzemon's. I mean, they don't have a lot of data yet, right?
I think that's unfair to say because a lot of us, I think, especially the top meta players, like myself, because I'm a very strong meta player, are able to look ahead at Japanese lists and overseas lists and see what was doing well over there.
Yeah. Because
it's no longer like when Black Wargrey was not dominating over Japan, they did not have the Promo 9 Agumon. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like that. They have all the same stuff we have for Beelzemon. Beelzemon did a lot of work overseas.
Yeah.
Does a lot of work. So you can kind of see all those deck lists.
Can I interject why, though?
Okay.
So, once again, we've talked about this on the channel before, but correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't Japanese tournaments best of 1?
I don't think that's the case.
Are they best of 3?
No, I think they're best of 3. Are
you sure?
I think that's a rumor. I think that is a weird rumor, and I don't
jump
have
down
any
in the comments
proof.
and correct us. I heard it was best of 1.
Maybe one shop. Maybe one locals or one place or one event.
But the tournaments are best of 3? Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong.
I've played against a bunch of Beelzemon stuff, and
I can't imagine doing best of 1 for this game.
It is such a high roll deck.
Yeah.
I think that, there's been times where, we've played against some of the best Beelzemon players. We have really loyal Beelzemon players at our locals.
Yes.
I can think of 3 or 4 right off the bat that have been playing it since the very beginning, and they've been really excited about this. But unless you get that really early Impmon rush or you get the exact cards that you want in your trash at the right times that actually synchronize with your opponent having stuff on the board to delete, there's a lot of stuff.
I call BS.
This
is where I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Beelzemon can get out of anything.
You think so?
They get out of anything. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if they break. It doesn't matter if they mill the wrong things. Because guess what? They went through those cards in the deck, it is more likely that they're going to hit what they need in the mid to late game when they need it most. Yes, if they don't have the early start, they'll have a very strong finish that'll come out of nowhere to blow things up.
Right. But if you're faster than
you're faster than them, sure.
Yeah.
Right. But that's any deck.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like late game, they're going to win, right? Because they got a card.
Yeah.
They literally got a card that was specifically late game. If I'm this many in my trash, I win the game.
If you're faster than them, yes, absolutely. But the way the decks play right now, there are very few decks that are faster than Beelzemon, in my opinion. Because they're doing so much in a turn. Because them putting one Impmon down may not seem like a lot, but if you try to pop it with Deathclaw like I did today, or if you try to swing over one that happened to live because it hit a Tamer or something, you're giving them so much memory because they're going to hit Death Slingers, they're going to hit Wizard Mons, they're going to hit all of these pieces that you don't want them to have in trash. Like when Beelzemon first came out, it was about a quarter of the deck that you didn't want to hit when you milled. Now it's like 75%.
It's pretty close, yeah.
It's like there's like 25% of cards that I don't want you to hit, and they mill 3, which means I'm gonna hit one that they want. Whether it's Death Slinger,
but that's
Wizard,
why they restricted that one that mills.
Yeah,
3
no,
more.
I definitely think it's the right call for Ultimate Cup because I think Beelzemon will win the Ultimate Cup if that wasn't the case. Definitely curious to see because I still think it could do very well without that Impmon.
It's still gonna be good. I mean, I think that. I mean, because they got the security Impmons too.
Yeah.
Right. So
exactly, they have those security Impmons, so that's so strong.
I feel a little PTSD from the guy that lost.
I love the deck. I love the deck that just mills it all. I've yet to play it for whatever reason because I think I've seen so many other people play it that I'm trying to do other things, especially making the channel and stuff. But I'm a huge fan of decks that just trash like that. And, it's like I pay money for all these cards. I want to see them every turn. I want to see them every game. Right, so it makes so much sense.
Every time I feel like a Beelzemon player, they get down to their last 5 or 6 cards. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like I have a whole deck. I want to see every card.
Yeah, you just hope that they don't get the X.
I think every game should have a deck style like that, where you mill yourself and things happen. And I think most of the time, card games do a pretty good job of making that happen, for sure. So,
all right. Well, we are into BT12 officially now.
Yay.
Oh, look at that excitement.
I do like this. I really do like this. I don't know.
I'm super excited about this set. I don't know about you, Jeff.
I'm excited. For sure.
This set for me has been a lot of waiting patiently. And every time we wait patiently for a new set, we wait patiently for more tournament pack cards because we play in locals, if not 1, 2 every single week, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch around us up here in the Pacific Northwest. So make sure
we could go play more if you want.
We really could. There's literally, I think, if we wanted to, we could play 5 of the 7 nights a week and only drive 20 minutes each way.
That's not bad.
Pretty crazy. So we're very fortunate in where we go. So we're gonna jump into new tournament pack cards because these are new cards that you can get from your locals, right? So I guess we'll do the winners last because that's the most exciting for you. So
I don't know, man. There's a new card in here.
Let's look at the participation packs. So we got another Gabu because everyone was asking for another Gabu, right?
I know I was.
Yeah.
I put that on my wish list to Santa this year for Christmas.
It's the same art. They kind of went the whole like ST1 Greymon.
It's bad because like had I had back in BT1, how many of the alt art Gabumons I bought back in BT1?
Yeah.
This one's way cooler than that one.
It was pretty cool.
My only complaint about these cards is that I want them to be foil.
We don't know if they are.
We don't know because like that's kind of a disappointment with the security attack Greymon.
Yeah, it's always a surprise.
They're not foil. Like I love the full art, and they look killer, but I like the foil. But do you have a favorite of these 6? Like
of these 6, I mean, for me personally, I love the Submarinmon because it's got Gomamon in the background. If you zoom in,
very clean image.
You got Goma in the background, just chilling on like a floaty.
Yeah,
which is my daughter's favorite Digimon. I got her a little plushie. It's like her
She's got good taste. That's like my favorite.
Good taste. Yeah. You got the marching fishes or whatever.
Yeah, buddy. There we go.
Yeah. So that's my favorite because he's just chilling in the background. And that's actually a really good card too. I've actually tried to fit that into some decks. Some like good.
I do like the choices that they made for these cards. I think that
which is not something we normally say.
Which is not. I agree. Like the Gabumon's questionable. The Patamon's questionable. So 2 out of the 4, sure. But Bandai getting a 4 out of 6 is pretty great. It's pretty good for sure.
I know Koki's got some artwork on here. It's not your favorite.
Yes, but I know the stuff that he does is talented. It's just a preference thing. I get it. But
a lot of people have been waiting for that level 4 Gatomon to get an alt art, because
I definitely think that's like one of the most deserving to get an alt art.
Very prevalent. I think that'll be the most expensive out of these 6 if you're talking about
But if
value.
it's not foil, are people going to play it?
Yes.
You
because
think so?
It's alt art. I mean,
it is a full art, and they do look really good.
I mean, if you're looking at the sets moving forward, I don't think we have any more Angel support from anything that's been revealed. So I think
we got a Shadow Seraphi. I think it's a Fallen Angel. That card dominates,
that's
dude.
Right. That's right.
That card, wow, is good.
So the Gato, maybe, because a lot of Mastamon players are kind of taking a break from Mass Day right now and jumping into other things. But I'm excited about these. I think that these are going to be fun. I mean, what more can you ask for from a participation pack?
We got in a badass Shurimon.
Yeah,
that's a card I never thought I was going to get. This one's my favorite.
What do you play that in, Tyrannos?
Hawkmon Armor Rush.
Oh.
I'm very excited. I love that's one of my favorite decks.
Stay tuned, folks. There's going to
Stay tuned. Profile. Drop everything. That deck profile will be posted very soon. Imagine playing Vmon Armor Rush, but it's worse.
With birds.
With birds. So if it sounds like you, stay tuned. We'll get it for you as soon as I get these Shurimons. I don't know. I just think it's really cool that they do provide, like, every card should have an alt art or some sort of cool way to do something like this. And obviously getting 6 cards at a time per tournament pack. It's like, why would you do starter deck 3 Patamon? Why would you do BT1 Gabumon?
Yeah, give us more current cards.
Other things. Absolutely. Jeez, man, come on.
No one's asking for, like, I don't
Not a Haguru. Not a Machine Dramon Haguru that every machine deck plays.
Absolutely.
You couldn't have done that.
You couldn't have done that.
Come on.
Exactly. You're going to give us a Gabumon that everyone played in every blue deck for
nobody plays anymore
for the first 6 formats. And
all
of a sudden it just
card.
dropped off because it doesn't have inheritable. And who cares?
And people play other things.
They play other things. But do you remember when that was a card? People were like,
yeah. That was like a staple in my blue decks back then.
Yeah,
it was like
absolutely.
It was a 2 to 3 of minimum, sometimes 4, depending on what my deck was doing, because it was just a good hard play. Got a body on board, draw a card. Rookie Rush back in the day.
Now
playing
it's a 1K, so it dies to everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, let's move on to the winners packs, which I was excited about these.
Oh, I know
because
why. The red
you were excited. Yeah. They're like, we're going to go ahead and print like 3 awesome cards from, what was it, a Great Legends Dash Pack?
Yeah, so it was it's a promo, and I don't know how Bandai determines who gets what Japanese, English, as far as when promos get distributed.
Pretty sure it's a
That's when we got it.
It's a dartboard.
It's just a dartboard. Like, I think people want this and stuff, so I love these, and I'm going to go broke buying Metal Garurumons.
Well, no, you don't have to go broke. Just win 4 tournaments in a row and get your place.
Win 4 tournaments?
And pull the exact right cards.
Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't win tonight, because we didn't have them tonight.
Yeah, next week.
We didn't. So next week I'll win. I'll win the next 4 weeks, guys.
This was the first winners pack that I've seen where there's actually like borderline. Like if you're looking at, like, go through our old videos, but we do a lot of analyzing regional wins and ultimate cups and stuff. I mean, that Grand Kuagamon and that Black War Greymon are both very, very playable competitive cards in those formats.
This is like the best selection Bandai has made.
For winners pack?
For winner
absolutely.
Packs. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people love Chaosdramon. I know.
Not that
I know you do. I know I do. It's a cool
if
card.
You're talking to like 8 month old or 8 month ago, if you got a time machine,
of course,
you're talking
of course,
to me 8 months ago, I'm like, oh, cool, a full art Chaosdramon.
It's still a cool card though.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look good. Like,
it's gonna look good. It's gonna be worth absolute.
These cards as full arts are gonna look killer, but again, are they gonna be foil? Because winner packs last set were not.
Yeah.
Could you imagine getting that Pikmon, the all silver one that's not foiled, and choosing to play that over the other Pikmon?
I saw someone that had like 2 binder pages full of those today, and
I don't think you could pay me to take them.
No.
Yeah.
Why would you want them? They're not even shiny.
They're not shiny, guys. Come on.
Even if they were shiny, you're like, why does it have nothing in the background?
Yeah, those ones don't look as good. Those ones don't look nearly as good.
But we have very playable cards out of this winners pack, especially for just formats moving forward. And if we're talking about Ultimate Cup, I mean, look at that Grand Kuagamon. That's a
perfect card for that. That makes so much sense.
I think you can run 1, and that was one of the restricted
cards. That is a restricted card?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I have it right here, so yeah.
I guess I do too.
Yeah, they can run one.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're gonna run one, it might as well be that one, right?
Yeah, but you can run the black war gray too in the black
can run
base decks
A
for
full
sure.
4 set of those, and we saw a couple lists that do run at least 1 or 2 of those.
You could even run that and imagine the raid war gray, but play black base with the tie, and then your other level 6 is the black war gray here.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. You have the digiburst, you have the X antibody to create a large stack.
Yeah.
And go from there. So.
And then elephant in the room. Let's talk about Melga.
Yeah,
That's
buddy.
your baby.
I love that card.
When I saw this, my eye went directly to that.
Yeah, because it's the best looking of all of them.
It is, and it will be. I mean, it's definitely the one that's probably the fan favorite just between me and you for the channel because, I mean, it's
a very cool card. It's such a fun play style.
It's it's worse Beal Star, but it's fun.
Digiburst is a mechanic that they need to bring back.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah,
with you
that was a cool mechanic idea, and I really like some of the things that they did. Heck, I remember BT4 playing Baboon Gamon in my D Brigade deck, and it doing work.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like the Digiburst was such a cool thing back then. Green Digiburst wasn't as crazy as I think people were expecting.
Yeah,
like they've definitely hyped green to be the main Digiburst color. Like Nidhogg obviously dominant. But, like the Rosemon didn't do as much as we were kind of hoping. Rafflesiamon didn't do as much as we were hoping, right? Obviously, Green Grand Kawagamon is all Digiburst, right? But we don't have Digiburst for other colors. Let's
I think
some
the
more
last, we were talking about trying to build this, but we were talking about Rasenmon.
Yes, that's
because
right.
We got,
I forgot. Yep.
I think that was the last Digiburst support that we got, right?
You're right. Because that was
got
yellow.
The Fury mode or something.
We got the Fury mode, which is the purple, right? So it was that card doesn't have Digiburst on it, but the yellow does.
Yes.
Yeah, and so like but the combo, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Because we were talking about because they had textured altars, and we were just like, oh, so this has
and
to
the
be some kind of
Rosenmon altar looks really good.
They're both great looking cards.
Yeah, that's one of those. I definitely want to see more support of that particular card.
I mean, I want to see, just like you were talking about, I want to see more support of Digiburst in general.
Yeah, that would be sick.
But I think, depending on what colors, with them giving so many X antibodies.
That's a great point because it could be really broken quickly.
It could be.
Like,
because
especially
you could have
imagine
so many sources for
the power creep. I mean, like, heck, playing the Rise Greymon that I've been playing now with my decks with the X antibody Agumons and Greymons, I'm Digibursting so many playing all these Tamers.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Nuts, yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So we'll see if we ever get any more Digiburst mechanics, but who knows? But I'm really excited about these alt arts. I think that people are going to be borderline competitive looking for these because I think the value in these are going to be higher than what we would normally see. I mean, not normally, but what we've seen in the recent for winners pack cards, because it's been kind of a crapshoot depending on what Bandai decides that they want to throw the old North America, Oceania, Latin America, Europe scene. Because it seems like we always get leftovers.
Yeah. But I mean, Digimon's a Japanese, company, a Japanese franchise, so we are probably gonna get the leftovers compared to overseas. But we're a pretty large market over here. So
yeah, I think that they're finally starting to realize that.
I think the problem is, it's hard for Bandai to shift gears because they probably already have the next set designing or the next set in the works, right? Because they reveal them pretty quickly, and then you get. So it's like they have to design things so far ahead and print things so far ahead that by the time they go back to an altar, by the time they go back and make a correction or they restrict a card or whatever, it's almost like too late.
Yeah,
it's hard. I get it. It's hard.
Yeah, no, I feel what you're saying. So tonight,
yes,
I know you played one of your older decks because you're gracious enough to donate one of your decks to one of our good friends for the channel.
Yes.
So. What was your card of the week? Is it one from your your older set that you played, or did you decide that, or did you find something that you played against?
I think that's a great question. So for me, I think I always like taking advantage of this segment of card of the week to talk about a card that has inspired me, or maybe a better card game player, something like that, right? So for me this week, it's Green Drachmon from BT12. That's
okay.
Right?
So the Hunter.
So it is from the deck that I did not play but was going to play.
Okay.
And the reason why this is my card of the week is because I've been trying a bunch of different ratios, and it's crazy how much that card does. It's a weak level 3 for sure. Its inheritable is pretty good, but that's not why it's in the deck. Hunters, if you have played it, you guys realize that you get to a point where your hand is flooded with Tamers. And by the time you have one of every color you don't necessarily need, more. You don't need all 4 Taikis out. You don't need all 4 of your U's out, your Tagaros, whatever. So the Drachmon on plays really nice because you get to reveal up to 3 Tamers from your hand, put up to 3 from the bottom of the deck, and then draw 3 cards. So, you draw 3. If you put 3, you draw 2. If you put 2, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really cool card that I think just makes a lot of sense. That was well designed.
Yeah.
Has a lot of cool synergies with the deck. I don't know if it goes in Digicross, like the Crosswars. Sorry, Crossheart.
Yeah,
My brain stumbled for a sec. I don't think it goes in that, but it's nice because it puts Tamers, it draws you cards. Sometimes that's exactly what you need in the deck for sure. So I'm a big fan of that. I think it's been kind of remotivating to go up from 2 to 3 to 4 of those and really understand why I've been playing that. So I enjoy the character as a whole, especially after playing Digimon Survive. So that's my particular card of the week. What about you?
I got to go with the big boy. I haven't done a level 7 in a while.
And you have not.
But I had so much fun answering your call to arms and not realizing how good Jesmon GX really is. So much
Great card.
That I have theory crafted an Ulforce deck with it. I've theory crafted a couple other Royal Knights decks.
Does that mean you're going to build Armor Rush, like Vmon Armor Rush?
No, that's a you thing.
It plays Jesmon GX. It plays Magnamon. All the cards that you've been all of your Ulforce Vmons.
I'll get there eventually, but I love the fact that this card can just digivolve on any level 6 Royal Knight.
Yeah.
And then tuck a Royal Knight from your hand or trash, which I learned.
Yes.
Probably too late in my testing with it. But it is so strong, and it does all the things you want it to do. And if there is something you want it to do that it doesn't do, you just pick a Royal Knight that does that thing. And then you tuck it underneath, and then it will do that thing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It is... You would think, like... I'm not a big lore person, but you would think that it would be an Omnimon that can... absorb a Digivolving from any Royal Knight and do that, but it's not. It's this guy, and it is probably one of the best alt arts in the game. I remember pulling one of these.
Ooh, interesting.
The texture, the color, it pops off the card.
Yeah.
When you play it, your opponent's just like, that's a lot of colors.
I look at it, I'm like, what am I looking at?
Yeah. There's a lot going on, but oh my God, the color palette is just immaculate,
Yeah.
Especially when you throw it on top of a Jesmon X alt art, and you're just like, I don't know where that card starts and the other one ends.
It's just ginormous stack of things.
But it's such a strong card, and it is menacing. I mean, it swings for 1,000,000 checks, especially if you already have, a Jesmon X on top. You tuck another one. You're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 checks. That's if you don't have the security Greymon in there, too. Then you're swinging for their whole stack.
I still don't think you need that card.
I did pretty well tonight.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Don't get me wrong.
There's only so many Bao Huckmons in the world, my guy.
No, but you got the Fugamon we talked about, to play.
Well, we'll get into that on the deck profile. But it swings for 1,000,000 checks. It's great, and it's huge. And the only thing it doesn't do by itself is reboot, but there's a Sistermon that does that for you. So
I mean, Red doesn't need reboot. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have it.
It's nice when it becomes a blocker.
Red shouldn't have reboot. That's a black effect, right?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. We're stealing from over there.
Yeah, but it's a great card, and I mean, I think it's only going to increase in value because its weight in gold just goes up with BT13 because it goes in so many Royal Knights decks, and people are like, well, it won't work in Yggdrasil because you can't digivolve. Well, you can in the turn where you're trying to swing for game.
All these bandwagon Mega Zoo fans are going to come out of the woodwork.
I know,
from BT13. We've been doing it since the beginning, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's the one thing I'm going to, plant my flag on.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that people don't realize is like once you go to win that game, you delete that Yggdrasil, you can digivolve and tuck and do whatever the heck you want, with that Jesmon GX. And
that's crazy.
It's a great card. I'm picking up all my alt arts now. You heard it here first, folks. Pick up your alt arts from BT10. Yeah, BT10.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's a great card, and it's only going to get better with the more Royal Knight support we get. So tell us what you're building. We got a little bit of time left. Jeff, we have.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I've been really having fun with hunters, so I'm gonna keep working on that. I think it's getting pretty close to where I can start working on the next thing. Shine Gray. I'm excited to get the core started and starting to understand the combo of it, so that way I'm ready for burst and ruin mode coming up in the future. Unfortunately, I think it's a little bit weaker than I thought it was gonna be, right? Because I thought it was gonna be a higher tier deck in this set, but I've been proven wrong. So I feel
We didn't see any tonight.
we did not see any tonight. I think a lot of people know that. I think a lot of people know that it's not there until we get at least the ruin in EX4.
Okay.
But you know, I've personally been thinking a lot about Armor Rush lately again.
Just gonna jump in and say though that the prices on the Marcus altar beg to differ, because I think that is still like $40+.
I agree.
So I think people are grabbing those now, maybe in anticipation.
I like
for
Shine
that,
Gray.
yeah.
I'm not trying to talk bad about it. I like the deck. I just personally, I don't know if just not a lot of people were there that wanted to play it. Like
Yeah.
we had people that really into Beelzebub or really into Hunters or whatever and had their thing going. But I don't know. Armor Rush has been calling a lot to me lately because we've been talking about Jesmon, we've been talking about Magnamon, we've been talking about all these VMons. So I think I need to dabble with an Armor Rush deck. But you know, I got to build another blue deck for the fans that doesn't play Ice Wall. So.
Well, you know mine doesn't, and he gets.
What about you? What are you building?
So like I said, I got Jess built. We have a. Here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We have a Diaboromon list coming.
Yes, we do.
We have new support with Quartz. We have. We skipped a format, so because we just didn't have the pieces, I feel, to build a comprehensive deck with a new way to play Diaboromon. Now we do with the Quartzmon. So stay tuned for that deck profile. Jeff, you've played against it. I think it's safe to say that it's more annoying and it's a little more menacing than the other previous versions.
I think a lot of people with Diaboro were trying to do too much with all the different types of level 6s, and I think if you just narrow down and pick the two that you're going to play, your primary and your backup, you're going to have better results with that. And I think Diaboromon was never an OTK style deck. Yeah. It's always been a wide with tokens, and then taking advantage of those tokens to put such an immense pressure on your opponent. So I think the way you've been building is really nice.
Yeah, so check that one out, folks. It's going to be controversial because everyone has an opinion on Diaboromon, and none of them are wrong. We just want to hear all of them. So check it out. Check out the rest of our videos. We also have a bunch of contributors coming here in the next couple days. Yeah. I can't wait. You guys are going to see probably a host of new faces on the channel because we're having some guests in the studio.
A lot of people we've been trying to get on the channel that we just haven't, like, the stars haven't aligned for them, you know? And it's nothing against those individuals that now all of a sudden they're on there. We just timing.
Yeah. Yeah. The timing should be pretty well. So stay tuned. We should have a lot. And all these people have very different deck profiles. So we can't wait to see every corner of the BT12 meta. So.
Or are you just saying that, but really we're going to have 4 different Hunters lists posted back to back to back to back?
Maybe we are. And you guys
stay
just
tuned
pick
to find
your
out.
Favorite. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
But that's going to do it for us tonight, folks. We had a great time at our first BT12 locals. We can't wait to explore this format more. We have another 6 or 7 weeks before we have to check out EX4.
Oh, I cannot wait for EX4. EX4, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Quit my job and I'm only focusing on Digimon.
Yeah. We're going to fight it out for those Omnimon Alter S and Alter B Altarts. Can't wait.
I will let you have them. I will pick them up later, but Ravemon is mine.
Ravemon, that's right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ravemon will always be my home.
If you're a fan of the channel, go back to I think Two Tamers Talk episode 2 or 3 where you were talking about that. So
we're talking about Ravemon burst mode.
You spoke that into existence. I remember trying to find that image to pop up on the screen, and it was not easy. Now it's got its own card. So here to hear first, folks. You got Jeff making the calls for Bandai. So
I'm pretty good at that.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining us. And like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Bye.